Oh my God, you see my eyebrows? Like I don't.
Ladies, your significant other should notice your eyebrows when you get it done. Thank you.
Nope. I can't tell the difference. It seemed like, what is this? Attentiveness. I fall in that category right there.
I don't even know at this point. This is
whenever
great.
we go out,
How do you show
whenever we
affection?
go out, left or right. So
Yes, I do when I cross the street.
Most of the time you don't. For me, showing affection, it would be, for example, like whenever we go out. Well, I don't even know at this point. Intimacy, friendship. Come on now. I mean, okay, be honest. How many times have I pulled you back?
A lot.
How many times I said that, affection. I thought that I wasn't affectionate, but I realized that I was the whole time.
So much evil in this world, I sit back like, why bother? But get a different view every time that I call dollar. It's like Numi got the Uzi, man, she always spitting facts. She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. Then the crime raises. It's something that ain't never gonna get that, but it's cool, let's sit back and chit-chat.
You gotta be stoic, you can't be frail. If you get on the track, you can't derail. If you stick around long enough,
you will surely be unveiled.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to another Unveiled podcast episode, hosted by me, Dr. Kande, and my lovely wife, Numsakaba.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Unveiled Mindset podcast, where we have enlightening and purposeful conversations that help to nurture growth and unveil the mind. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe down below. As we've mentioned, we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. So come on, Unveil family. Please go ahead and subscribe. Let us know, too, what your thoughts are. Let's be engaging in this conversation.
Yep.
So make sure you follow us on all platforms, Unveiled Mindset or Unveiled_Mindset.
Yep. So today, we're going to get into one of my favorite topic. I think one of your favorite topic as well. So let's just get into it. All right. So the question is, do you feel like our parents are affectionate? Or do you feel like they're not? And if you feel like they are, explain. And if you feel like they're not, you can also explain. You can talk about your personal, relationship, but in general in the community, what do you see and how do you feel about it? Based through conversation and with other, how do you feel, or what do you know, per se, about affection being part of our culture? Do you think it exists, or do you think it doesn't exist?
So first I'll talk about my experience. I 100%, 1,000% believe that my parents are affectionate, because they are. I grew up in a very affectionate household. And so I would say the answer to that is absolutely yes. In terms of community, I mean, from what I've heard or from what people say, like people will say that like, African parents are a little bit harder or may not be as affectionate, etc. But I believe that, it's easier to say that when you have different definitions of affection. I think here in the West, a lot of people prescribe to and have learned this new definition of affection, which is, hugging and telling each other like I love you and I appreciate you, like words of affirmation, as well as physical touch and all this other stuff, like and when we're talking about family members, even like when it comes to like hugging or handshaking or things like that, kind of have and then spending certain types of quality time where you're talking about certain topics and how you feel and whatnot, whereas we may have a different traditionally definition of affection, right? It may not be in the sense of, oh, I love you, or, whatever the equivalent, like French or Mandingo or whatever language it is that you speak, Fulani, etc. term is. It may not be I love you, but it may be like your mom blessing you every single time you get off the phone, right? Your mom blessing you every time you get out the house or anything happens and wishing you, amazing things, or your dad doing the same thing. So I think, in this community, I've heard a lot of people say like, no, the stigma of African parents or immigrant parents or whatever the case may be, are not as affectionate. But I do think that a huge part of that misconception, there are some that aren't, and they're hard. But I think there is a big part of the misconception of not affectionate because there's different definitions of what that means because of the multicultural experience.
Yeah, I agree. So another thing, like, because we kind of talked about it a little bit, right? And then I kind of gave you my perspective on it, right? So are you saying that now after the conversation or before, what was your initial like perspective on it? Did you think from like just speaking with others or talking to other people from the same culture as us, but maybe grew up back home or whatever, or end up coming over here later on and didn't experience some of those things that you did in your, with your parents?
I would say before we had the conversation about it, my thought was, or the way that people have made it seem, or kind of what
Seamer?
I said. Seem.
Oh, I thought you said seamer.
The way that people have made it seem is essentially that no, they, African parents, or a lot of African parents are, harder, stricter, less affectionate. And that's in my answer. That's what I said. I said, it may, from people around in the community and stuff like that, you hear people say that, hey, no, their parents are not affectionate, but it may stem from what we discussed. But in that first part of my response, I said, it can appear as if like they're not affectionate, and because that's what a lot of people will voice. A lot of people our generation, and a little bit older, the younger one, like super younger one, I think they're getting some of that affection because parents have been here for a little bit longer. But the common theme that I would hear a lot of people say, especially their fathers, they'll say like, fathers, they didn't really see a lot of affection with the fathers, and then even like between the mothers and the fathers, like the parents together, they didn't see that much affection. Yeah, is what people would say.
And did you lean more towards that? Saying, or
no? Because my parents were the opposite of that.
No. I get that. I'm saying like for like the general consensus, right? Like, did you lean towards more like, okay, maybe that's what it is?
Yeah, to me that's what I kept hearing. So that was anytime I would kind of give my experience, it's mainly, oh well, no, your case is different. Yeah. So you don't understand. So for me, I felt, okay, that's 100% not my experience, and I don't agree with it because that's not what I saw. But from what a lot of people are saying, that's their experience. Yeah. So okay, that's what's out there.
Because the reason why I said it is there's the general consensus. Bless you.
Thank you.
There's the general perspective or idea of narrative of one thing, and also there's an exception, right? So because like people be like me, I'm like, yo, it's not about you, it's about the group in totality, right? So, and then I used to think about that. I was like, yo, like I don't think we're necessarily affectionate. I think we're just strictly business. Like, I'm your dad, like I'm your mom, your brother, your sister, like boom, boom, boom. Everything is like functional, like a machine, right? And then like as time went on, like I started thinking about it. I was like, yo, culture, there's difference in cultures, right? And each culture come with their own like ways, right? And our culture, I was like, okay, like if that's the case, if we grew up so harsh, or like let's say there was no affection in the house, how would we really function? Because when I really think about the family dynamic, right, not just me but others, right, or things that we talked about, they were like, yeah, they're not affectionate, and then they would just tell you a story. Yeah, like I remember one time me and my dad, boom, boom, we did this and did that. Oh, me and my mom did. I'm like, but you don't even think about it. You're saying that there's no affection at home. Then you bring up a scenario or a topic or a situation that happened that was affectionate. Yeah. Right. So for example, like here in the state in America, like the way they show affection is they hug, like you say, kiss, being all tender and all of that, right? And for us, it might not be that, and that don't mean we're not affectionate. We just have different ways of showing it. So because we're multicultural, because we come from one culture and then we end up moving to another country that also have our own culture, like can become a little confusing if you're not careful, right? Because you like, okay, oh, this is what affection is. Yes, it is. That's affection for them, but for us, it's different. I told Lamina, I'm like, yo, imagine being back home. You're going to I can't remember what's the name of it, like
farm,
like yeah, let's go, you going farming with your pops, or you know, what you gonna call it, probably building something with your pops. That's like that's a way of showing affection. Or sitting down with your pops, he's telling you stories, he's telling you the way you carry yourself and all of that. Even the simplest, you know, people are like, oh, that's not affection. Even caring or even taking care of somebody is showing affection, right? Like it's completely different, because here you see the kisses and hug, you're like, okay, that's affection. Not that the fact that you don't see that in our culture, you automatically believe that we don't show affection. And to me, that's where I kind of disagree, until we started going, peeling the layers one by one, and then you get to see that, okay, there's affection there. It's just completely different from the other culture, or the American culture. So that's what I really feel, because I know the general consensus is that we're not affectionate. Even with this, people are gonna say, yo, we're not. I just want you to sit back and just think about it. You know, when they say affection, what are you really looking for? What are you expecting, right? Because the kisses and hugs is just, that's not the only way. There's different ways, you know, of doing it. Because me sitting down with my dad, him telling me stories, or sitting down with my uncles or my aunties back home, they're telling us stories or whatever, or you know, or giving us. Remember, like on Clubhouse, we used to play these games called like riddles, right?
Riddles,
and then we usually get that from the elders, right? And they have like double meaning and double entendre. Like those are all showing affection. You guys laughing, or you going walking to the mosque with your pops. Like he probably holding your hands. Like, oh no, I'm gonna make sure you don't run and cross the street and get hit by a car. That's all showing affection. Caring, respect is affection. You know, so it's like you gotta dig deep and to really analyze what you're looking for, because without those affection, I don't think we'll be caring and loving people. Because I believe our community, like, we're very loving and caring, right? So the other culture too. So it's just the mentality of, you know, one culture and other culture doesn't really align all the way. So then instead of you're making comparison to apply that to one culture, which one culture doesn't work that way. You know, so pretty much that's how I feel about it.
I agree.
Do you have anything to add on?
I think you pretty much summed it up. I agree that there's different definitions of affection, you know, across the world. And so it's important to understand, you know, the person who's giving. And it's kind of like in America when you learn about word of affection, or what is it? Not word of affection, but what is it called? The types of affection, like your love language.
Yeah, your love language.
Right? And so with regards to like the love language, it's the same thing. It's important to understand, like, what is the love language of the receiver? What is the love language of the giver, right? If I'm thinking that I'm giving you affection by doing XYZ, and you consume affection differently, it doesn't mean that I'm not giving you affection. Correct. I'm just not giving you affection that you consider is affection. Yeah. Same thing. Like, so I think it's important to understand, like, you know, what your parents or what that in order to bridge the gap, it's important to understand what that love language or what that affection type is that the person is giving. Correct. So that you can identify when they are giving those, and then you can, you know, solidify to yourself, like, yeah, no, actually that's how they're showing it to me.
Yeah. And so I was gonna.
And
go ahead.
The one other thing too, like, don't be afraid to also like the other side, just like a love language, right? Like, hey, this is kind of here's how I like to receive, you know, affection or love or whatever. Don't be afraid to reciprocate and kind of teach the other person what you consider and how you view and take in and consume affection and love, because when you do that, you can actually end up changing little by little. The person will adapt. And when the person adapts, then mutually you know how they consume affection, and then you can also give them the affection that they need and that they want. I think it's important to understand, how do people want to be loved, right? Yeah. There's how you love on someone, but how do people want to be loved? That's and correct. An example of that is like with my parents. I'm very, like, every time we get off the phone, we say I love you. right? Every single time we get off the phone, we say I love you. I tell them I miss you. I give them hugs. Like we're very affectionate. Was that the same case with my eldest siblings, right? When they first came to the US, and no, it wasn't, right? Yeah. This whole idea of okay, I love you, bye, whatever. It wasn't a thing, but it's something that that's just how I show affection. Yeah. And
no, that's true.
They reciprocate it.
With you saying that you say I love you on the phone, I really don't recall saying I love you to my mom or my dad or stuff like that. But I know they do, and right. And they know that I love them too, right? But it's not something we just throw around. Somebody's like, you guys are not affectionate. That's not true. It's just we just operate
that's
different.
That's not your way of affection.
Yeah, we operate differently, right? Yeah. So, and the reason why I said that, because for example, me and you, would you consider me to be affectionate?
In the way that you give affection, yes.
Okay, so somebody because, and I know how
in the way that I give affection, no,
because you're all because I'm yo, because sometimes it's I'm she's annoying, when I say annoying, it's oh, I want to cuddle, oh, this and the other, because we're not used to that. We're used to we're not used to it. Us,
who's us? I'm used to it.
No, I'm talking about us, the boys. We're not.
I give my dad hugs.
No, we give hugs. What I'm saying.
But my brothers, I don't.
Maybe exactly.
Actually, no, my brother hugs my mom.
Yeah, I'm talking about my mom. We don't go,
okay.
Dad, we don't go, come here, Dad. Come on, man. Get off me, boy. Yeah. But what I'm saying is
All right, maybe, who's us? Maybe, define that.
Maybe you're just excessive with yours.
No, maybe define that. Who is us?
Like us, the boys, we Africans.
So towards their wives and mothers and sisters, towards women in their lives that they love.
I think with their mom, they're more soft and gentle. That's your mom. It just naturally just happens. You want to hug your mom.
I think naturally that's how people are also with their their sisters or their significant others.
I'm saying with moms, especially my mom is it's always been I told you I was 24. My mom was yeah, you guys, come on, we're going to bed. We're going to share the bed. She think we're still kids. I was no, I'm grown. And then she was you trying to be defiant. You're not, stuff like that. Mom and son, dynamic or whatever.
Yeah.
Or it's oh, you're not sleeping here. No, mom, I got to go to my house. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's it's naturally you little by little you fight your way out of that. It's just, look, I'm gonna hug you now, mom, but I'm not gonna be your little boy.
Yeah.
We're past that, but as the father, I think it's a respect thing. It's a respect thing, right? So, and I'm not saying we can't be affectionate in that way, but I'm just saying it's all the time. Sometimes honestly, let me not just say that, because I think sometimes men want space. Yo, don't be crowding my space all the time. It's Goku do it all the time. Goku always want to lay on my feet or want to get, you see him, you come and touch you with, so maybe you and Goku got the same love language.
Maybe we do.
Yeah, but I think I'm 50-50 or maybe 60-40
of what,
more and then more of,
you're not saying much.
what I'm trying to say is I'm affectionate in your way 40%, and I'm affectionate in my way 60%.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. You know what I'm saying? It could be 70-30.
What is affection in your way?
In my way is you come home, say hi. I say hi. How's your day? You good? Yeah, you good? Okay. Everything went well. Okay. You feel safe? Great. Go in the kitchen.
You feel safe?
Go in the kitchen and cook for us, right? And then when you're done
that is not affection.
When you're done cooking, you done. I'm gonna take out the trash. I'm gonna take out the trash now. Boom, boom. All right,
But those are roles. Those are just
finish. You asked me a question.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Then I wash the dishes and I got a headache. You okay? You need some medicine? Boom, boom, boom. Go in the cabinet, get you some water and the medicine.
Okay.
I can finally rest now. That's affection right there. Leave me alone. Affection. Leave me alone sometimes. I'm watching a game. Or I'm watching my show. Or Kendrick just dropped the diss and Drake. I'm trying to listen to the lyrics, and you're over here telling me about some, you know what happened at work today? I don't want to hear that. But honestly, to me, I would say for me, showing affection, it would be, for example, like whenever we go out. Well, I don't even know at this point. Whenever we go out,
I don't even know at this point. This
whenever
is great.
we go out,
How do you show
whenever we
affection?
go out,
Yeah.
you never look left or right. So
Yes, I do when I cross the street.
Most of the time, you don't. I mean, okay, be honest. How many times have I pulled you back?
A lot.
How many times I say, Numso, I worry about your safety almost probably more than you.
Because you're there. So
No, even when I'm not there, I tell you, Numso, boom, boom, boom.
You'll take
Yo,
care of it.
look at this, look at that. Even when I'm not there, yo, Numso, don't speed. Mm-hmm. That's probably why we got a ticket. I said, Numso, don't speed. Don't do this. Numso, don't do that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like when you crossing the street, usually I'm the eyes that see that look. Yo, that's a car
protective.
coming.
That's protective.
That's affection.
Okay.
That's caring. That's loving.
I guess, what is the definition of affection?
Okay, let's look it up.
Yeah.
Like,
what is affection?
Okay, we see affection. Okay, gentle feeling of fondness or liking, right? Mm-hmm. So they have an example. She felt affection for the wise old lady, and they have similar, like synonyms or whatever. They have liking, endearment, warmness, devotion, care, caring. What is this? Attentiveness. Mm-hmm. I fall in that category right there. Intimacy, friendship. Come on now. We even have a. Come on, man.
We haven't done it in a while.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you forgot the.
You didn't even finish.
What is it? There's boom.
There we go.
Boom. Boom. Bro, come on, bro. Okay, we have favor. I do a lot of favor, bro. Like, massage my feet.
You don't be massaging my feet.
Friendliness. Super
all
friendly.
The time.
Attachment. That's Goku and you. What is this? What else?
It's all of the above.
Yeah, so I fall in some of the categories. You fall in some of the categories too. Respect. You remember I said that respect, right? A father and a son dynamic. Respect. You know, showing your son how to respect others, to respect you, respect your mom, respect. You know, so that's all part of being affection. So like, come on now. So it's just culturally, it come with, you know, it come differently.
Okay.
Right?
Do you feel like it's important for one to learn the affection language, I guess, or love language of the other, and give that love language to the other as much as you can, you know? You
should implement it.
Yeah.
The way of how you show affection. And then your significant other should also understand that the way you show affection is different sometimes. So you should also be attentive, which is one of them, right? You should be paying attention to that too. Yeah. You know, it's like you guys kind of like balance each other out.
Yep.
You know?
Do you feel like there's room for more of you said 40-60?
Yeah.
So then that means at 60 there's room for like
hell no.
growth.
No, that's growth. It was 90-10. That's a lot of growth.
No, that's not saying that's not a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That is a lot. I'm saying, do you feel like there's room? I mean, there's a lifetime to come. So
no, you trying to make me soft. That ain't
one
happening.
Is important to.
I've been with Goku for 7 years. Come on,
grow.
No, I think it's perfect where it's at. Like, you know, I think you know, there's a room to like for you to grow. Like,
in which way?
When I'm watching my games, you leave me alone. Or when I don't want to talk, or when I'm watching my show, I gotta pause every 5 minutes because you're saying something. I don't care. I really don't care. But like, yeah, so like, you know, you feel me? It's like we're just different. We're different species, bro. Like, you know.
I think that's room to grow, because what if I'm saying is important,
and then I stop and listen, because I just said I have to stop every 5 minutes to listen. So there you go. You're not listening.
But you said I don't care.
Yeah, I say like I'm saying I don't care, right? Because meaning some of the conversation are nonsensical topic, and then I don't care. But I'm saying if it's like, hey, yo, you gotta run this number. All right, come on now. That's not the same. But I don't want to hear about, oh my God, you see my eyebrows? Like I got my, I don't.
Ladies, your significant other should notice your eyebrows when you get it done. Thank you.
Nope. I can't tell the difference. It seemed like, whenever you come out the shop and I pick you up, it looked like you put some Vaseline on your eyebrows and they just shining. Like, I'm like, so you just, I could have done that. I could have put Vaseline on your eye, just kind of rub it a little bit.
It's not all.
And that's what they do.
No, it's not. There's a lot more that happens.
Come on now. But yeah, so overall, the whole, you know, premise of this conversation is to make people understand that affection is not just one way, and we should just kind of double down and just kind of do some deep research and see what to understand what affection is, and not to conflate one culture with the other culture because you grew up in both culture and it's merged. So sometimes you lean to, because I would say that like being multicultural, right? Because of the diversity of, you know, your experience, right? You tend to like either lean on one side when it makes sense, and then you lean on the other side when it makes sense. When we talk about
absolutely
affection, in terms of like how this culture show affection, kiss and hugs, you say, oh, that's affection, this is not affection. And then something in this culture doesn't really align with this other culture. Like, like this
it's crazy.
Like, oh, African Americans, they don't get it, blah blah blah, this sticky boom boom, and then you go more towards the African side. So whenever Africans do something that you don't agree with, like, yeah, see, the Americans, they do this. So we tend to like you know, go both ways. You know, 1 minute the pendulum swing this way, 1 minute swing the other way. So it's like try to find a balance and stay in the middle. Understand one side, understand the other, and don't conflate the two, and then try to make, you know, call that, yo, that's not affection. Don't combine two culture and then expect that to be everything. If that makes sense.
I think the way that I think about it is understand both of them, and understand when people are behaving in one or the other, their reasoning for it because of understanding that, you know, that culture specifically. However, the beauty of and you know, the curse, or whatever the case may be you want to call it, of being a multicultural person or being multicultural is, and this also even means like people who come from different socioeconomic backgrounds, right? Correct. Someone who came from one socioeconomic background and then worked hard and ended up being, you know, at the top at a completely different socioeconomic background. There's still a gap that needs to be bridged from something, you know, that the people of where you came from understood in the way of being in that culture and that community versus the current state that you're at. So I think it's important in that case too, and the beauty of it is you are both, right? Yep. You are both. So sometimes you're one, and when it comes to certain topics, sometimes you're another when it comes to a different topic. Yep. And that's honestly okay. But what's important is understanding the other side, understanding where the other side comes from, and that's where I think you said standing in the middle. To me, I think it's fine to sway each way based on what the topic is, because that's what makes that multicultural experience dynamic. However, understand the other side and where they come from because of the underlining like depths of that culture and that community. So
when I say stand in between, I get what you're saying. When I say standing in between, like for balance, what I'm saying pretty much is like I can observe something from this culture and from that culture and apply it to my daily life. Yeah, pretty much that's what it is, man. So we just learned something new today. I guess I hope you guys took something from this. Cause
what did we learn new?
Well, I learned that you know, affection, I thought that I wasn't affectionate, but I realized that I was the whole time. It was just, it's different.
That's strategy, what you learned?
Different strokes for different folks, right? Strategy and understanding what works for who, and it all depends on your culture. Don't try to submit yourself to something that you're not. Be yourself and try to adapt, you know? So that's all I got to say. Yep.
Agreed. Makes sense. Make sure you guys tune in to the audios as well. Make sure you listen to the podcasts on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. And make sure you tune in to those streams because those numbers count. If you like the episodes, make sure you leave us a 5-star on those platforms as well.
Yep. And you know,
we'll see you guys next time.
Unveiled Mindset. Never fail to surprise you guys. We out. Bye.
So much evil in this world, I sit back like, why bother? But get a different view every time that I call God. It's like Numi got the Uzi, man, she always speaking facts. She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. Then the crime raises. It's something that ain't never gonna get that, but it's cool, let's sit back, let's chit chat. Unveiled Mindset.